Hello everyone, I'm JayskiBean, and this is A Walk in a Park, an experience where you can interact with both video game characters and real people who suffer from mental illnesses. This game was made as the product of a research on how mental illnesses are portrayed in video games. This is really cool. I really like the idea of this game. I hope it's an awesome game. My girlfriend actually she's taking classes right now. She just had a lesson, or well, an assignment, where she had to take a character from a book, a game, a movie, anything, and diagnose him with a mental illness and describe it and all that stuff. She did an essay on Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter series. It was awesome. But yeah, I'm excited. So let's go. Escape for the options. It's on the Unity engine, obviously, as Unity popped up at the very beginning. And it's literally a walk in the park where we just explore, and there's no jump, there's just walking. It's awesome. I love the Unity engine games. They're so cool. Like, the graphics are so cool on them. Hello. See, there's the Joker. See, that's so awesome. Okay. I'm often described as a psychotic homicidal maniac. My violence is often blamed on my schizophrenia that could put me out of touch with reality. Normally, someone who is psychotic is experiencing symptoms of psychosis, a mental disorder which can include auditory hallucinations, such as hearing voices, visual hallucinations, where they see objects that are not truly there. Next page. But I don't hear voices. I don't have trouble telling what's real from what isn't. I don't feel that people I'm hurting somehow deserve it. I just think it's funny. I may commit crimes for reasons that don't make sense to you, but I know full well that things I'm doing are real and are seen as wrong by society. I have plenty of motivation to get a lot of enjoyment out of concocting complicated schemes to wreak havoc on society. That's it for that one. I suffer from schizophrenia, which involves being out of touch with reality. I have an inability to discern what is real and what's not real, to think clearly, have normal emotion responses, act normally in social situations. You may think I'm a violent person based on the common misconception that people who suffer from schizophrenia are extremely violent. In fact, people that suffer from schizophrenia are less violent and are much more likely to be victims of the aggressors. The symptoms include an inability to experience pleasure, diminished emotional range, and a lack of motivation. However, violence is not a symptom of schizophrenia. I am not violent towards others. Instead, I am quite withdrawn and often prefer to be left alone. It's quite common for me to experience hallucinations, though they are mostly auditory, sorry. I do have the occasional visual hallucination, but not very often. Although there is no cure for schizophrenia, the symptoms are highly treatable using a combination of medication and therapy. Okay, so this game, it's video game characters, movie characters, just any popular characters from random stuff, and real people with similar stuff. It's cool. Game character. Whoa, what happened? This is pretty cool. I mean, it crashed, kinda. Space to interact. Okay. Do you recognize me? I bet you do, even if I am a far cry away from home. See, this is the guy from Far Cry who, insanity, the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So let's see what he... Want to know the definition of insanity? See, before I read it, I swear I didn't read it. I can explain it to you. Insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting things to change. That is crazy, but the first time somebody told me that, I don't know. I thought they were tricking me, so boom, I shot him. Whoa. The thing is, he was right, and then I started seeing everywhere I looked. Okay, all these people, everywhere I looked, doing the exact same thing, over and over and over and over again, thinking this time it's going to be different. Whoa. One common misconception the public has about serial murder and other serious crimes is that mental illness must play a major role. This is because the public generally assumes that in order for someone to commit these acts, they have to be crazy or insane. Indeed, it is not normal for humans to be extremely violent and commit serious crimes. That does not mean that the mental disorders necessarily cause or contribute significantly to this kind of behavior. Insanity is actually not a psychiatric or mental health term, but instead a legal concept. Video game villains are frequently referred to as insane. There is a common misunderstanding to the portrayal of insanity and what it means to be legally insane. In the real world, only 1% of criminal cases plead not guilty by reason of insanity, and only 20% of those 1% are successful. Okay. So that was the guy from Fallout. Or Far Cry, Fallout, wow. This game's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I don't like how the music just randomly stopped, though. Where's the clock? You may have noticed from my unusual behavior that I look anxious. However, I am actually neurotic. This means I suffer from a range of anxiety-related disorders chosen at random. I know the term neurotic is outdated and primitive way to describe a mental illness, but that's just the way I was created. I often feel anxious about things, especially mundane tasks around the house, but that's alright. As soon as I get around to doing the task, I am instantly calm again. I can't quite get a grip on life and will often freak out at the click of a button. This can distress those around me, but immediately afterwards I will be fine. Also can't get sad or angry, I just feel anxious instead. I'm not sure who this is. You might say that I don't look anxious, but anxiety doesn't necessarily have a look. I don't have to be trembling or hyperventilating to be anxious. When I am being quiet, I'm not sad, bored, tired, or whatever else they want to fill the blank with. There's just too much going on in my mind. Sometimes I can't keep up with what's going on around me. Sometimes I just need to be alone. It's not personal. I'm not mad. I don't have some problem. I don't need to shake it off and do something fun. I just need to be alone so I can reset myself and breathe a little. Sometimes when I'm feeling the anxiety, I have no idea why I'm anxious. I never know when it's going to hit me, and when it does, I just need you to support me. I can't just turn it off. Just remember, I'm still me. I'm not my anxiety. That is so cool. I know a lot of people with anxiety, a lot of people very close to me with anxiety, and that is very, very true. But is that all of them? I'll have to go back and read this one again. Maybe after I read all of them, it'll do something will happen. And next, I've already read this one. I've already read this one. Maybe that's all of it? So there's only really 3 of them. Yeah, I guess that was it. What does this say? Does it say anything? North, south, west, east. Okay, yeah, I guess that was it. That was really cool, and the graphics are really good. You can tell they spent some time on it, and it was, I don't know, really well written. I feel like it captured the disorders pretty well. It's very pretty too. Like I love the Unity engine. It's awesome. I forgot this game off Game Jolt. It's called A Walk in the Park. It's a nice little short, and I think this is it. This is like all the game is. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you slap that like button underneath the video. Subscribe to my page if you haven't already, and tell your friends about me. See you guys later.